What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Married to Medicine, Season 9, you guys, episode number 2. The episode is titled The Beauty Shop, you guys. So before we jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and aren't subscribed to the channel, then I'm going to need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out the way, you guys, without further ado, let us discuss Married to Medicine, shall we? So the episode, you guys, we open up and we see Dr. Heavenly. So Dr. Heavenly is going down to see Dr. Jackie in his after hours. So Dr. Heavenly goes in there. Baby, when I tell you Heavenly gave too much information in this scene, too much information, Heavenly girl, I do not need to know about you and Dr. Damon. I could do without. Sometimes there are visuals that I can do without. This is one visual I could do without. So Heavenly goes and tells Jackie that she hasn't had a period in about 2 months. Dr. Jackie says, "Welcome to the mature club." She's like, "Bitch, I ain't a part of the mature club. Like, I could be pregnant with twins." I mean, she's not lying. She could be pregnant, but the possibilities of her being pregnant are very slim, but she could be. I mean, women have babies in their 50s, so is Heavenly in her 50s? I think she got to be, right? I don't think Heavenly's in her 40s, is she? If she is, I mean, Heavenly could be pregnant, but like I said, the possibilities of that, very slim. So Dr. Jackie told her, she'll take some blood work from her and she'll run the labs and she'll run her testosterone, her estrogen, she'll run all of that stuff. So here's where she lost me with the too much information. She was talking about she doesn't want to have sex with Dr. Damon. She just, she does what that mouth does. I was like, oh, girl, that is the last thing I want to picture in my brain. You giving Dr. Damon head. It's the last visual. It's the last visual. Again, like I said last week about somebody else, I would much rather watch Mama D and Ernest again. And I don't want to ever in my life see that. Never, ever, 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 ever. But yeah, so Dr. Jackie's gonna run some labs on her. Oh, she was talking about how, she's kind of dry down there. And Dr. Jackie was like, yep, that's some signs of it. Being she used a term and I forgot what the term was. So yeah, Heavenly don't want to be a part of the mature club. She says Jackie's in it, Simone is coming up in it, and you right behind Simone. So okay, Heavenly. So then we move over to Contessa. It's very odd to see Contessa inviting Toya over to her home. We have saw over the last few seasons Contessa and Toya going back and forth with each other. But hey, they're in a good space with each other. And the reason that I feel that they're in a good space with each other right now is because Contessa ain't cool with Heavenly. Like, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. That's the real reason why I think that Contessa is as cool with Toya as she is. So her daughter Layla called one of her Toya's sons the devil and the angel. She said one is good and one is evil. That means, never mind, I was about to say something shady, but I'm going to keep it to myself. So they sit down and they have a conversation, and Contessa is telling Toya, she's asking her about she and Anila, where are they at? Toya says that, she and Anila, they're in a strange space right now, and they just need to move forward. But she's not going to be the one that does the work. I was like, okay, Toya, girl, I guess if you say so. I mean, what can you expect from Toya? So then Contessa tells Toya that she hasn't talked to Heavenly in months, and it is behind that damn YouTube channel. And I mean, it's not even YouTube, it's social media, because that is why, not I'm about to say Toya, but that is why Simone and Heavenly stopped talking, because Heavenly was talking about Cecil on Twitter. So Heavenly does have this issue where she talks shit about her friends on social media. She apologizes to her friends, but she keeps repeating the same shit. And it's like it's just a bullshit apology. You apologize to your friends, but then you continuously do the same shit that you had done previously. So what was the purpose of the apology is the real question. Why would you apologize if you're going to continuously talk crap about them? Now, as far as Heavenly's YouTube channel, there are two people that I can think of when I think about Heavenly's YouTube channel. There are two people in particular that have every right in the world to be mad at Heavenly. Mariah, when Mariah was on the show, because when Mariah was on the show, Heavenly talked cash money shit about her. And the other person, Toya. I mean, she talks bad about Toya. Like I watched some of her review last week, and she was talking about Toya in that damn house. I'm like, this is why Toya can't stand. This is why you and Toya cannot get on the same page. Toya, you and Toya make up at the reunion. Y'all come back into the season, and it's the same shit. Y'all are at odds with each other once again. So I can't really just sit here and so yeah. And Heavenly even said that on the interview that I saw, where she said the one person who should be mad at her the most is Toya, because she talks shit about Toya. And I'm glad she can own up to that. That girl, you do talk a lot of shit about her. So Contessa says that, she would like to sit down and have a conversation with Heavenly. And we saw that, in the clip for what's coming up on this season, where they're going to do the intervention with Heavenly, which I actually think that's next week's episode. I don't know if that's going to go the way that Contessa would like it to go, but I'm also here to see it. So let's pause here, you guys, and let's move forward. All right, you guys, so we see Anila. Anila, I would love to know, like, she says she's a blogger. Girl, how did you, I just want to know what you do, how you do it, so I can emulate it, girl. Because, like I said before, I am in the process of wanting to build a house, and I'm cool with buying stuff, but it would also be nice if I could have stuff gifted to me. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with a little gift. Ain't nothing wrong with a little gift. If you guys notice that I'm looking down, I am pouring, oh shit, I'm pouring some juice, some Powerade into my thing. Because a brother's thirsty. So Anila, she was telling us about her blogging as she's getting her kids ready for school with Miss Gomez. So Anila tells us that she has 80,000 followers. Her vlogging is booming, it's popping, it's hot. I wonder if Lisa Nicole ever paid her, or did she ever actually do those blogs for Lisa Nicole? Thank God I don't have to see her face. So she tells us that she dedicates about 80 to 60 hours a week vlogging. I'm like, damn. Like, you guys know with the iPhones, they tell you, like, my iPhone every Sunday, it tells me how long how many hours I was on my phone, what apps I spent the most time on. It does get annoying at times, but it is kind of helpful. And I think right now the app that I spend the most time on is YouTube and Twitter. Everything else, I don't use it like that. And I have so many other social medias, but I just don't use them like that. But 80 to 60 hours, that is a full-time job. Because I work 80, but she said 80 hours in a week. Jesus the Christ. When do you sleep? Good Lord, when do you sleep? So then we see Quad. So we move over to Quad's house, and Quad is doing the same thing. She is getting her nephew Mason ready for school. And it's, like I've said before, you guys, Quad is not my favorite person on Married to Medicine, but I don't dislike Quad. She's just not one of my favorite people. Like I said in last week's review, I just want Quad to just talk in her real voice. It's those voices that I think that's really what annoys me the most with Quad, is those voices. It is those multiple voices that she has. Now, do I have multiple, like, if you listen to me sometimes, my voice can be really low, or it can, sometimes I do inflect just a little bit. I don't intentionally do it, but sometimes I talk a little higher, sometimes I'm talking lower. But Quad has multiple voices. I only have two voices. And I use this one that I'm talking in right now. This is the one that I try to use the most. Like, I do listen to some of my videos and I'm like, oh, you talking really high. And then when I do the next video, I'm like, okay, go down. But that's really what that's the only thing about Quad I just don't get. I don't like is the voices. It's the voices. So Quad has gone from being, living her best life, being out in the city and whatnot, to being a family woman. So I like this different side. Now I do have a question, because didn't she foster a child a few years ago? I thought she fostered a child. I guess she doesn't have that child anymore. So her nephew Mason, that is a grown little man, because she was taking him to school. And he says, "I don't like that bus." I was like, "Damn, he got some bass in his voice, and he's only 6. Like that, he got some little bass in his voice. Like, you're a grown man." And she's like, "What you don't like? What don't you like about the bus?" He says that the kids talk too loud. She says, "Have you told them to calm down?" He says, "I have, but they keep talking." Really cute to see. I remember one time my mom said, "Jerome, you don't have to ride the bus to school, because I'm not taking you to school no more." And this was my freshman to going into my sophomore year of high school. She's like, "Yeah, next year you're gonna ride the bus." I said, "Girl, I wish I would. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get up every morning and you're gonna take me to school." She looked at me. She was like, "Who are you talking to?" I said, "You." Because she's like, "Why don't you want to ride the bus?" I said, "First of all, I don't want to ride the bus because I don't want to get up early in the morning to walk down the street to catch that bus." She looked at me, but I was dead ass serious. Like, "Girl, I'm not waking up at 6 o'clock," because she's like, "You have to wake up about 6 or 6:30 in the morning." I said, "Says who?" "Not I." And it was after that point that she was like, "You know what? You're gonna get your driver's license and we getting you a car, because that ain't gonna happen." And lo and behold, my sophomore year, she got me in my car and she was like, "Yeah, you can drive yourself to school because I'm done." I was like, "Cool, that's fine. I ain't waking up at 6:30 in the morning." Like, the fuck? To catch a bus? Girl, bye. Girl, shabai. So let's pause here, you guys, and move forward. So, you guys, we see Heavenly. So Heavenly is meeting up with her event planner. So Heavenly is going to be having she had a soft grand opening for her store, but now she's going to have the grand opening for Heavenly Beauty. Heavenly Beauty, Rena Beauty, Fenty Beauty. A lot of beauties. I will say I give kudos to Dr. Heavenly for, making multiple streams of income for herself. She got her YouTube channel, Heavenly Beauty, as well as her dentistry. So I applaud her completely. Hats off to Dr. Heavenly. Now, me personally, if I was a woman, would I buy a wig from her store? Maybe, maybe not. Because with her runway, there were some wigs that I saw that I was like, "Okay, that's cute." Then there was some that I was like, "That ain't cute." The one that she had on, that orange one, that was cute. The one that Quad had on, not so much. The one that Jackie had on, looked like the Cowardly Lion. Just saying. So also at this grand opening, Dr. Jackie's going to have some of her skincare products there. So then we see Simone and Cecil. So Simone and Cecil, they are going on a double date with their son. What is his name? What is it? Miles. Miles has a girlfriend. You guys, I'm gonna keep my opinions about, because I thought Miles was for quite some time I thought Miles was gay. I don't know why, he just gave me gay. Didn't think he was straight. And there's no shade. There's no shade. I just thought he was gay. I really thought Miles was gay. But he's back in school, and Simone and Cecil, they both tell him and his girlfriend that they're going to be writing a couples book. And I love what Cecil and Simone said about the couples book. Because most people, when they write a book, especially if it's a relationship book, they don't want to put, they want to put all the good things in a relationship. They don't, because it's a timeline of their relationship, when they met, the things that they've been through, and how they overcame them to get to where they are now. I like when people do that. Don't give me no fluff shit. Like, don't give me nothing that's just fluff. Where it's like, oh, we met in college, we got married, we had kids. Don't make it as if you guys have never had any trials and tribulations in your marriage. Keep it a buck, keep it 100. Say, we met in college, we got married, we had our 2 kids. I built my practice. Cecil did his, did what he does, and we were building. And then, some years into the marriage, we had, I'm not saying that Cecil and Simone had these issues, but we had some infidelity issues, and we had to work through those to get to where we, just chronologize everything, because it could, it might be a way, it might be bringing things back up, but it just shows you how far where you started to where you are now. So I respect that. I like that. Let me know what you guys think about it. And we're going to pause here, you guys, and go ahead and just start to wrap up the episode. So, you guys, Anila, Miss Gomez, she put the kids to sleep. Anila and Kieran came in. She has gotten some stuff. He's like, is that from Amazon or what? She's like, no, it's blogging stuff. He says, I do check the credit card statement. You guys, I love Kieran. I love Dr. Kieran and the fact that Dr. Kieran just says what he feels. He says it how he feels. So Ms. Gomez tells him that she's made a surprise for them. So she's made them dinner. And then he was like, oh shit, she wants a raise. I was like, is it bad that she wants a raise? But it's not what Ms. Gomez wants. Ms. Gomez was buttering them up, but not for a raise. Ms. Gomez was buttering up to tell them like, hey, old buddy, old pal. So you guys know I have a home in Houston. I got a family in Houston. I got a grandchild in Houston. So I'm going back to Houston. They were like, how long are you going to stay there? She's like, it's indefinite. I'm not coming back to Atlanta. And they were like, what can we do to make you stay? And I mean, I get it. Their kids have grown attached to her. And I think that is like one downfall when it comes to hiring people to, help with your kids, that your kids do get super attached to them. So I don't know if Ms. Gomez was live-in, but I think that is one downfall, especially when the kids get so attached to them like that. That's going to be hard to tell those kids that she's leaving, especially if, they love her. She's a part of the family. That's going to be difficult. That's going to be a difficult conversation to have with those kids. So then we move over to Heavenly's grand opening. All the ladies are showing up to support her, even Contessa. And I'm going to talk about Contessa in just a minute. So we saw Nikki Natural there. I was like, girl, Nikki Natural. Okay. So Heavenly is meeting with this guy from a funeral home down there in Miami. He wants for Heavenly's wigs to be on the deceased. I was like, okay, expand, girl. Get them a contracts. Because, I mean, some of the wigs that you be seeing on these dead people, it's just like, oh, I know that they're dead, but do you got to make them look that bad? That's why when my mom passed away, I had my cousin make a wig for her. Because I was like, I did not want, and I put her in a wig because my mom had a great head of hair. But before she passed, her hair, it was in a fro, and I was like, I don't like that. I'm like, this fro, I can't bear her in this fro. My mom's hair was always, as what we call a jerry curl. She always had her hair was curled, always. So we gave her a curly wig that looked like a jerry curl, and my cousin did a good job with it because I didn't. And yeah, I told them, I wanted my cousin to do the wig and her makeup because my mom didn't wear makeup. She didn't wear makeup. The most she would wear was some red lipstick. That was the most she was gonna ever wear. So I was like, when you put makeup on her, don't put too much on her, like, because that's not who she is, and that's just not her. I don't want to see her with blush and all that stuff. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see anything on her eye. I just want to see a natural face. And they did that, and I was happy with it. So congratulations to Heavenly for that one. And they did the runway. I've already talked about the wigs. Some of them were a hit. Some of them were okay. So Contessa, I didn't understand Contessa. Contessa was talking about Heavenly didn't ask her to walk in the fashion show. That would have been a olive branch. What? Why would you want to walk in the fashion show if you guys have an issue currently? That made no sense to me. Honestly, that didn't make a lick of sense to me, but I want you guys to let me know if it made sense to you. And that's all we got for this episode of Married to Medicine. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Drop down in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your post notifications. Share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. And also, you guys, the next one is going to be Basketball Wives. So I posted on the community tab, and I said this in my Love and Marriage DC review, that going forward, once I get myself settled into, my next apartment, Basketball Wives, loving hip hop, Atlanta and Miami, if I do review those shows, and even some if I do Black King Crew Compton when it comes back. I'm not doing New York. If I do Compton and all those shows, Those are going to strictly be lives. VH1 shows are lives. I think the only show for VH1 that I won't do live will be if they come back with another season of, what's that show? What is that show? The one that the Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion. The Family Reunion. If they come back with a season 3 of Family Reunion, that will probably be pre-recorded. But like Love and Hip Hop and Basketball Wives, going forward, like I don't know how soon I'm gonna do it, but I know that those are gonna be live reviews because I just don't have the time or the patience for those shows. Well, Atlanta and Miami Love and Hip Hop, we'll have to watch the first episode and see. But pretty soon, we're gonna migrate to half. So half of the channel is gonna be live, the other is gonna be pre-recorded. But I'll let you guys know before I even just start doing that. I'll give you guys a heads up and say, hey, you guys, tomorrow we'll be doing a live for such and such. I'll give you guys a heads up before I even do it. But that's it, you guys. I'll see you guys later.